Do you have what it takes to be a manager? How about to be a union representative? What are the things that we should know more about labor employment and compliance? In this episode of TCM Knows, we'll find out the answers to these questions by interviewing several persons from big agencies and organizations that all related to labor and employment. So this is Sittie Aliah Paki, and join our group as we know more about management and organization field. Only here in TCM Knows!
Human resource management is not an easy thing. It is the strategic approach to the effective management of people in a company or organization such that they help their business gain a competitive advantage. It is designed to maximize employee performance in service of an employer's strategic objectives.
Ang role as human resource management as from the root word resources, so as HR, kami gud mo recruit og mga tao. So in terms of behavior, so during interview pa lang dapat na namin idea kung sa among kwaon. So more on recruitment ni, then more on sa mga admin, just like mga sweldo, salary sa mga bata, benefits sa mga workers, nga then more on mag-motivate po mi sa mga bata nga na may mga trabahante nga need na mo i-left up bitaw sila kay talag sa mga low ilang mga confidence pero makita naman sila mga potential. Discipline na may mga ginafollow nga code of conduct.
Initially, i-evaluate and then a recommendation i-endorse sa Manila kung qualify siya for kinahanglan kung ang sa NPC makasunod ka kung makatake ka o mental ability aptitude personality test before ka ma-in. Pero dili na siya guarantee nga sulod yun ka. Kay murag na kung ma-hire man ka as contract of service, wala man yung employer.
Sa mga po nakasalalay sa among ma-contribute sa organization, so dako give me role so sa among organization kay kami man mo reflect sa mga usa ang among gina-deploy nga tao, mo reflect sa mga unsa man ang outcome sa among gina-deploy. Nay mga gina-deploy nga mo nga nay concern sa attitude na puy talaga sa nga kanang maayo siya during interview pero in terms sa iya manarbaho siya dito na namo siya makita among outcome nga makita na namo unsay attitude nila na kay di man perfect sa among pagka-hire sa usa ka tao.
Sa pag-provide o info, dayon trainings sa personnel, and then more on sa ilahang mga benefits, sa ilahang compensation, then
initial interview, exams, final interview, then evaluation sa imong training days. So that's why they may evaluate if successful ba ang company or dili. So far, success ang po siya. Kaya nag-programa ng company.
Actually, na may mga competency requirement, competency level, na ay intervention, and then before siya, first hiring, pag-report niya, orient, na ay orientation. Actually, ang orientation is sa mga senior mga personnel na knowledgeable na kayo sa project.
Natay ginatawag na selection process 10 or 15, 20 ka po imong during initial interview. So during initial interview sa laon na dahil na sila ako na qualify mo 8 ka buo or 10 ay 5 naman atong required atong ipangayo so natay mo select out 10 dala na po ta selection process na punta sa iyang intelligence sa iyong personality. So natay mga criteria na ginatawag inan siya. So dapat na ay date mo target karon o initial interview ka karon ng date kay planning mo siya at planado din mo siya. Dili nga karon initial ka mo text ako for or Wednesday or final or exam then dito din ka sa recruitment na din ka sa doon select na yun. Sa mga diri, confidential man gud among compensation. So basta above minimum gid mo siya diri. Ana lang siya dota. Basta ay on pa man gud confidential mo siya. So in terms sa mga incentives na tay mga service incentive leave 5 days na siya. Then na tay mga legal pay, legal holiday pay mandated by DOLE. Muna mo sa amo ang aside sa mga files. So wala na ni mga karang travel. Ay kung mag-travel may na ni benefits, non-free meal, free accommodations, basta mag-fair me. So pensions, wala may pension siguro mga covered na siya through SSS. That's why natay mga SSS. Kaya dito na ito na ginakuha in time sa magsakit pa, mag-disgrasya. So covered din na siya sa SSS. Sa mga company lang. Kaya naman yung mga company na sila yung mga medicine, libre lang laboratory. So ay sa mga libre pala mong annual na medical exam. So purpose sa mo ay sigatag magiging naman that's why natay pay slip. Na dito makita na itong regular hours, night differential, rest day OT, kanang if rest day ninyo itawagan mo na yung 30% yung legal holiday pay, double pay na siya, duty mo during ay di pa lang day sa legal holiday na mo yung weekly ang basihan na nakatong inyong pay before a holiday.
Ako na dyan, grade man na exempted sa standardization. Pero karon akit, during the administration salary grade na tanan napakas ang tanan o government employees. And then, na din nakasaan na tanan ang mga benefits na napakas na siya. Whereas before, syempre, more higher mi sa uban ng mga government employees.
So, parang
kaya government-owned GOCC kasi NPC is earning din. Aside from that namin, missionary electrification sa kanang mga remote areas, uban ng mga napamanggihapon mga planta na power generator.
what comes into your mind when you hear union? Pag-aalsa? Kilos protesta? Employee versus management? Not all the times unions are against management. In fact, unions can be pro-management. They are just there to help and protect and serves as the voice system of the employees' welfare.
Among union, kasamahan ng mga manggagawa ng GSS, that is KMG. So, affiliated me with KAMAFI, which is National Union for GOCCs and GFIs. Actually, isa lang din ang buong role sa any unions sa government agencies. So, any agencies, that is to protect the employees' welfare, to at least magsunod lang sa kung unsa ang magiging charter. So, ang amo, per CBL, amo na make sure protected ang mga employees. Dili pa dihado, pa-serve, pa-stress for them, huwag madungog sila sa ilang mga concerns. Huwag mga pasaka na, madungog na sa tuang back-management. Meron tayong mga representatives. Actually, it is better that na-agree more, especially sa agencies like GSIS, so medyo, we are big agency. So, kailangan ng mga representatives of employees para madungog agad ang mga concerns to mapaabot sa top management. So, di man galing siya po, necessary, pero it is important na natin. Yung enter GSIS, naanadaan ang union. So, naanadaan ang KMG. So, this has long been here or established since 30 years na, okay, 32, like that. So, with that number of years na exist na siya sa GSIS, mapainon dito na igwa po relationship with this union and the management. Pero sa minakadungog na ay union na protests, kaya nga nakadako ka protest na wala nang lang sa management. Kung saan lang yun ang ginalaw na pwedeng magbuhat sa union for the employees is to protect. Katong the termination, kung na-terminate, kung hanggang dibawan sa union, kaya may babaan mo kung makatulungan ng mga termination. We are the delicate contract sa management. Kung ano sa promise sa mga employees, kami ang tagapagtanggol sa mga employees, pwede nila matuinan, o air out sa amo, kami ang hipon ng voice. Pero, hindi ko na makontra ang management. Kaya kanang voice, nag-ainan ako is kami ang barog naman sa ila, sa tubang naman sa management.
remember this, not at all times, kung nakakasalit na kinahalan ka, iso, term to tayo gusto. Unang babato sa jurisprudence. Kung ikaw overtime employee, kasi dili ka pati pa overtime, kana pwede silang pwede niya na intervene. Pero kung makatarungan nun nga, pag-overtime kay para makabot na mo ang purpose, bawat special projects, then goals sa office, ang pag-abot, pa certain time ang makakabot ng katubanan or like mahuman ang project, then ang union mo support, mo encourage sa ato ang mga employees, just do this. Then later on, kabalo man ka, ito pasagnan. Nga na lang. So kung ano ba makabot na mga project, kinsa maka-benefit, ano mag-apunta na? Hindi kontra sa amin. Dili may impose ng discipline sa mga employees directly.
Okay.
Ang amuha halimbawa ay cases like dili na yung lugar madlong ang employee tapos na-impose sa sanction na ng office. I-evaluate na mo kung makatarungan nun kung dapat lang ba na sanction ipaantang sa iya. Kung dapat may hacker, then di naman na interfere. Ang amo ay ang lagi ipaagi sa due process kung saan naandan, kung saan procedures sa opisina. We are within the bounds of civil service laws. So, kung halimbawa o ma-serve, ma-studyhan ng mahatag na sa iya, tanong mga options, tanong mga reconciliations, pero decide sige, hindi ako siya parating, wala yung mga violations. So, that's the time na igo na lang yung this mga giving due process na rin sa employee concern. Hindi naman po ninyo magbabag sa desisyon sa management kung wala nakita ng mga basis. Kasi maski sa hiring, maski sa promotions, na yung representative sa union.
Now that we have both interviewed the management in the union, let us now proceed on the insights of a labor lawyer and as well as the DOLE representative regarding the labor and employment and of course their experiences and collective bargaining agreement.
When it comes to litigation, it's either the lawyer represents the management or the labor. Well, if the lawyer is the mediator or the arbiter, his role is to help the parties in a case to come or to arrive at a settlement of whatever issues may be between them. Well, if the parties are not able to come into a settlement, arrive at a settlement, then the lawyer and the arbitrator will have to decide the case on the merits. And of course, if the lawyer is the lawyer for the labor, he will have to argue whatever issues there are in favor of his client. The other lawyer is for the management, will have to defend the side management. There is really an issue against the management. Okay? I used to be one of the lawyers for a labor federation. Very big union, covering several companies. Okay? So, I handled so many labor cases before.
So what are the common cases that you handle?
The common cases that I was able to handle, or that's usually being filed before the labor courts, illegal dismissal or legal suspension, because these are the usual issues. Then we have the unfair labor practice act, okay, on the part of the employee. But there are also acts on the part of labor or the union. It can also amount to unfair labor practice against the employer. It's not only the employees that commits unfair labor practice act. It can also be the employees or the union. So these are most of the issues. Then there are also cases on issues regarding the CBA or collective bargaining agreement. Okay, there are management and the union might argue on certain stipulations with respect to benefits. Labor management deadlock in negotiations. So, picketing tayo. There's picketing. And there, sometimes it becomes there is it reaches, sometimes it goes to the point.
Can the employee sue the employer for emotional distress, sir?
It will amount to what we call constructive dismissal under the law. In labor cases, the proceedings are usually summary in nature. So there is no actual trial, we have to present evidence, the witnesses will testify. In labor cases, it is enough that affidavits are submitted, and documents are submitted, and there is a what we call position paper to argue the case. From other parties, the labor arbiter will require that. After submission of the position paper, with the attached affidavits of witnesses and the documents supporting the process, the arbiter will listen. The Monte is a very organized company. Leslie, so these are, we can call them top-notch employers of the Philippines. In the Philippines, they are one of the best paying companies in the Philippines. So, they're very good.
How about in the government agencies, sir? Have you ever experienced handling cases?
Yes, I also have a few. Not so much.
Was it hard?
Well, depends on the issues. Depends on the issues. And I won most of them.
Oh, congrats. Nice.
I won most of them.
Okay.
Because the case is really meritorious and you are able to argue it. And the evidence says that you have it.
As a labor and employment officer, I was trained to handle labor cases like complaints. We are also authorized to cater those matters, and likewise, I am also tasked to draft the compliance orders of the regional director regarding the notice of results conducted by our labor inspectors for the establishments conducted during the complaint and routinary inspections. I am always the voice of equality, impartiality, and justice, and especially on labor, employer and employee relationship. Yes, DOLE is very conscious of giving everyone its opportunity to be heard and to be notified, be it a complaint or be it any concern. Affirmative action compliance for me is those things and those matters that should be done that a person is ought to do, regardless of any regulation, order, but also as a moral obligation. And the otherwise is the negative. Here in DOLE, I would assume that the Department of Labor and Employment is very fair in receiving applications. They observe the merit system, which is the policy encouraged by the Civil Service Commission. They have a very particular criteria for every position, and they discourage those insider system and the usual culture in government agencies that is so-called in sociology, whom you know when you apply. It is not the case in DOLE. I am proud of that. I haven't known anybody from DOLE when I applied here, but I was considered as an applicant and I was employed.
So how about compensation package?
In government positions, I would say that the compensation package is very well compensating, and compared to private companies. Maybe some private companies are well compensating, but in government service, it is when you enter government service. I would say that those who have the heart for public service, it really doesn't matter if the compensation is what. Because when your heart is for service, you would really go regardless of the figure.
Employer and employee relations are very important inside the management. Knowing the different roles of a manager, a union, a representative, and as well as the lawyer as mediator gives us a clear picture of what is really going on, not just inside the management, but of course in a collective bargaining agreement. So wrapping it up, if we become like these people in the near future, we will be able to know our roles and as well as the do's and don'ts. By following and obeying the rules, we can be able to create a harmonious relationship among others. And if there are certain issues, as what Attorney Gumby said, settlement of the parties can simplify the case. Righteousness is not always the right solution, so that is why we have to do what is right for all the parties that are concerned. So this is your TCM buddy. I am Sittie, together with Sis Nicole Bazar, Axel May Rivera, Liza Masinopa, Kathleen Colciano, Lauren Joy Rodriguez, Lovely Largosa, and of course, Joyce Dumaluan.
And you have learned something new only here in TCM Knows!